What is software quality then? What is software quality? Quality is nothing but if I am going to meet the specification, then quality has been met. What is the input? What is the output? If 2 into 2 is 4, whether I am going to get that, then the output is met. Means the quality is being met. If 2 into 2 is, it is going to say 5, quality is going to be met. Okay. So quality is totally, if you say that quality is nothing but based on the requirements specification, whether you will be going to get the output or not. If you are going to get the output, quality is being met. Okay. If not, the problems are going to be there in that. Okay. Then some of the quality measures. Okay. So how do you calculate that? So it is nothing but efficiency and reliability, maintainability and reusability. These things will come into the picture. Okay. The product is already there, the system, software system is there. So the quality is going to be, the requirements is efficiency and reliability. So 100 times that if you are going to give the input, so it should give the same output. Efficiency is going to be checked, and reliability, it should be work properly in any critical environment also, they should work. Then maintainability, any system that it is going to be in the workplace, that always should have maintenance of that particular system. Okay, product has to get repeated use of that. Okay, so that it should not give any problems. So for that maintainability, things are going to be considered for this to ensure the quality. Reusability of the product. So once you have been developed that product, so that should be reused in the different applications. So these are the quality of the requirements. Okay, what are the requirements? And it should specify. Should specify the unambiguous nature of the application. Okay, so unambiguous should not be there. Unambiguous things should not be present in that. So sometimes it is going to get difficult also. So again, there will be oversight that they will be going to misplaced that particular concept. Then you may get some errors in that. Okay, so these are the quality requirements that you should consider. Okay, specifications are going to be very, very important thing. Based on that only, whether your program is complete or incomplete, that is going to be checked. Always software quality focuses on fitness for purpose. It's nothing but whether the given input is going to meet the output or not. Given specifications, whether it meets the output or not, that it should be checked. That is what we can say it is a software quality. Software fitness for the purpose. What is the purpose of software quality? How it is going to fit? First thing is that software has been properly tested. Very, very important thing. Whether it is tested properly or not. If it is not tested properly, there will be errors will be there. So it is not fit for the execution. It means that delivery. Software sufficiently dependent on to put into the use. Okay. So it should be checked thoroughly that all the modules working properly and all the specifications are met. Those things are going to be checked. Based on that, whether it is going to be used or not, that it should be checked. Then performance of the software acceptance for normal use. Nothing but when the product is being developed, the performance of the product is going to be assessed by using the methods that you'll be going to use some tools for that, or the inputs will be given, and there will be so many testing things are going to be there. Those things that you'll be going to apply, and finally whether we can able to accept this or not, that should be tested, and whether it can be put into the normal use are going to be checked. Once if it is going to be checked that whether the software is really usable, whatever that product is being developed, can it be useful, because once it has been developed, that must be useful. So if it is going to give some errors, then what is the use of that particular product? So it is nothing but these are the fitnesses that will be going to be checked for the application. Well structured and understandable. Any software that will be developed, it should be well structured, means documentation must be perfect. Look wise, the data entry and exits for that, it must be good enough. For example, I'll tell you, well structured and understandable is nothing but username and password. You take one example of this username and password. Username, when your cursor mouse pointer goes to that username, how the username is to be entered, that it should be given in the tooltip of that. Then it should be understandable. What I should enter in that, it should be specified over there. So that is more way of writing the structured programming, we can say. Okay. Then if it comes to the password, how many characters that you should enter and what way that you should enter, if it is going to be given properly, then that is a way of well structured and well understandable formats. Whether your software is like that, this is a question. Programming and documentation standards that you have to meet, and that's why I said programming, how you will be going to write in the C language, I have seen. Okay, so there's a structure formatting ways there that nobody is going to follow. So when you go to companies, then they will say that you have to follow some rules of that particular programming, then only you'll be going to realize it. So try to write any programs in that particular way, how that should be written in the companies. Okay, then the documentation standards that you should use it. Documentation is for any programming, any UIs, how that it works properly. Those things are going to be documented in the format. Okay, some standard format that you should use it. Whether your product is like that. Okay, if all these things are going to be met, then it is fit for the purpose. Otherwise, it is not. Non-functional characteristics. Any product that it is going to have functional and non-functional characteristics. It is subjective to the software system. What are the characteristics? It reflects on the practical user experience. So it is nothing but how that functions are going to be used. What is the expected thing is going to be there. So whether they will be going to get that or not, those things are going to be checked. And unreliable or too slow, this is a non-functional characteristics. See, when you are going to execute the process, immediately you should give the result. If you are copying this is one simple program I am going to take it. You are copying from one folder to another folder the program. So it must display on the screen that you are copying that particular program from one folder to another folder. So it should move, some data should move, okay, or the wave should move like that. Okay, so it is copying like that, anybody can understand. If you are not going to show that particular on the screen, then what happens? It is very difficult that user should stand in front of that system and you should wait for the completion. And after the completion, whether it gives the completed process is completed. So these are the unrealistic. Okay, those things should be avoided. Okay, and the system should not be slow to answer to the question. Okay, the attributes are there here. You can see safety. Under the safety, we will have security is there. Safety, security, reliability, resilience. Okay, robustness. Then understandability, testability, adaptability, modularity, complexity, portability, usability, reusability, efficiency, learnability. All these things are quality attributes. Everywhere these things are getting applied. Okay, safety of the product, that is must. Security of the product means unauthorized person that you could not able to log into that your system. Reliable, always you should, trustworthiness that should be there in that. Okay, then resilience, it should work properly. Okay, then robustness, so it should not